Okay, so Larry, here's where we make all of our salads. All of our dinners at Rigatoni's come with salad and, of course, freshly baked bread. Here is where we answer all the phones. And this unit here is where we showcase any and all of our specials. So yesterday we made pies. We had some leftover pie crust, so we just made some fruit filling with some pie and bananas. This is our steam table where we keep all of our sauce, gravy, and our meatballs all up to temperature. This is where we're going to saute, and I am going to make a broccoli and chicken for you. Right now, Tammy is working on a meat sauce, which we use nothing but the best ground beef, and then we add garlic, of course, and sauce. We have a very small fry later here in the kitchen because we do very, very little fry. And now we were able to incorporate a thin round crusted pizza, but truthfully, Rigatoni's is famous for the Sicilian pan pizza. In fact, I'm gonna let you try it because it just came out of the oven and it is delish. And it's great for parties because when you walk in with a pizza this big, people are like, oh my God, where'd you get it? And it gives you something different, I mean, there's so many places around that make a great pizza, but not anybody makes the pan pizza like this. In my household, Saturday night, my mother would make pizza every Saturday night, and she would make it in a pan, like a brownie pan. And then the dough that was left over Sunday morning, she'd pan fry it, put it in a brown paper bag, coat it with sugar, and then I would go to church, and I'd come home, and would have meatballs and dunk the bread, and you wonder why we're so thin today, because we ate like that all weekend. But why don't you try that? We use all homemade dough, freshly grated Pecorino Romano cheese. We use shredded mozzarella and our homemade sauce. This is an individual size calzone. Today, because we make everything to order and people in a rush for lunchtime, we par cook these so that people can come in and just leave. This is an Italian cold cut, a sausage, a meatball, and a chicken parm. Our four most popular, so that this way when you're in a rush, you can just come in, grab your lunch, and go about your business. Our bread is baked fresh daily. Comes out of the oven continuously all day. In fact, Tammy's putting in the bread right now. And that's it. It's 1,200 square feet, and everything's cooked to order and fresh. And we are going to make our famous rigatoni broccoli and chicken. And for the sake of convenience, I have a bunch of orders that are going out, and they happen to want this in a wine sauce. And there's our famous timer. Oh, sorry. So what's that, the bread? Bread, yeah. Okay. All right, so the first thing I do is I lightly dredge fresh chicken tenders in flour. This is just to coat it. I use 100% olive oil on the bottom of the pan. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to saute the chicken on each side. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Hey, Tammy, can I have that rigatoni, please? We are in production of the restaurant, so if you don't mind, we're going to keep things going there. Yep. What I do is we use a dry pasta. Actually, it's imported from Italy. It's made with high durum flour so that the pasta is always cooked al dente, and we cook everything to order. Hey Jimbo, how are you? Jim is one of our favorite customers. We cook 10 pounds of pasta at a time. Linda, can I have a 5-minute time, please? Sure. And then what I do is I pot cook it for 5 minutes, and then when the customer places the order, all I do is I put it back into boiling water to bring it up to temperature. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip the chicken. And it's important not to overcook your chicken because you know that once you overcook anything, it tastes like rubber, and that's not good. Kevin is our mailman. He comes in every day too. And he's our favorite and best pizza customer. And he likes the corner, so he's gonna say, can I have the corner, please? As I had talked about having an open concept kitchen. If I was a cook stuck in the back all the time with a wall, I would never be able to really see what the heck was going on. Okay, so once the chicken is cooked halfway through, I just cut the chicken in half into bite sizes so that it's easier for people to eat. Okay, so now that the chicken's halfway cooked, I bring this over to my pasta line up here. And this is the best part of the whole show, right? Butter, tons of it, freshly chopped lemons, and freshly chopped garlic. And everything I use is real. Nothing is processed. It's all real lemons. It's not lemon juice. It's real garlic. It's not garlic powder. It's real butter. It's not margarine. And that to me is the secret. In order to make a great product, you have to start with great ingredients. I've always learned that if you start with crap, you end up with crap. And I'm going to add a little bit more butter.
How's the bread?
Then I'm just going to let this saute up. And then, because this is rigatoni broccoli and chicken, I'm going to use freshly chopped broccoli. And again, it's not canned, it's not frozen, it's actually fresh chopped broccoli. And the great thing about this is I try to use as many local vendors as possible, you know, to keep the business into the community. So I get all my produce from Kittredge Farms. Aaron is the proprietor there, he's phenomenal. He's right down the street, and we have such a great relationship. That's another reason why I really love the community of Derry, because, you know, Sabatino's opened up down the street, and they're an Italian restaurant, but if I ran out of mozzarella, I know I could call up Anthony and say, Anthony, can I borrow something from you? Same thing with Derry Express. They use the same containers as I do, so if we run out, we can borrow from one another, and vice versa. If they need anything from us, we can help them out, you know. Rick from Clam Haven, he always gives us his onion centers rather than him throwing them out. I'm like, wait a minute, I'll take them. Linda, which by the way, we have to go get them from him. Mary Ann's, they're wonderful people. I mean, there's such great people in the community that everyone just, you know, wants to make things work, you know. And so even though, yes, it's competition, it's really not. It's just people working, networking to help each other out. And even like this opportunity is great for businesses to showcase what do they offer to the community. And notice that I don't cook this for a very long time, because I really think the less you play with food, the better that it is. And a lot of times, people are over here constantly touching their food, and it's just not necessary. Now the last ingredient before I add the pasta is going to be our wine sauce, which it's already pre-made up over here. And basically, it's nothing more than white wine, a little bit of cream, and some Italian seasonings. But I pre-reduce the wine so that it's not bitter. Our number one selling item is the cream sauce. It's more like an Alfredo base, more than anything. But this is going to the local Derry office. Linda, what office is this going to? Family practice?
This is going over in Londonderry to one of the doctor's offices.
Yeah, so the nurses tend to eat a little bit healthier than most, so they're having the wine sauce. But don't tell them all the butter that I put in. They'll never know. But the cream sauce generally is the most popular. And then once that comes up to a reduction, I'm going to add my pasta, some grated Romano cheese, some black pepper, and then it's good to go. No, let it come up to a curve. I'm going to add some rigatoni into this so that it can reduce.
One sausage, one meatball, all the same container.
Is that the Jim?
Yes, it is.
Does he want it hot?
Jimmy,
Okay, once the wine sauce reduces and we add the pasta, we just transfer it into a serving dish. We take all the beautiful juices from the bottom of the pan. As you can tell, the wine is all nice and caramelized. Then you use my favorite ingredient, which is a pecorino romano cheese, freshly grated, a little bit of black pepper, and abundanza. You put it right on your, ooh, it's so hot. Excuse me. You serve it right to your family.
Beautiful.